You reach into your wallet and pull out a $20 bill. It looks exactly the same as it did last month. The paper feels the same. The ink is the same. But in the few seconds since you touched it, something has been taken from it. What was taken? The obvious explanation might be that prices are rising because of greedy corporations. But the real answer is far stranger. Your cash is being stolen. By whom? Not by a pickpocket. Not by a hacker. By a silent, ancient mechanism that you use every day. How does a bill lose value while it sits still? That slow theft is inflation. It is a transfer of wealth from your hand to someone else's. To understand it, you have to travel back thousands of years. Long before banks, your ancestors trusted metal. A Roman silver denarius was a disk of pure silver. It bought a loaf of bread, a jug of wine. But emperors faced a constant problem. How do you pay for a war when the treasury is empty? You clip the coins. You melt them down and mix in cheaper metal. The new coin still had the same face. It still said denarius, but it contained less silver. What happened to the old pure coins? They vanished. People hoarded the good money and spent the bad. This is Gresham's law, and it was the original slow theft. Can you see it in your own pocket today? The historian Niall Ferguson traced this pattern across centuries, from Rome to the Spanish influx of New World silver. Every time, the people holding the currency woke up poorer. How could they be poor if the coin had the same face? Because the value wasn't in the picture. It was in the metal. Today, your coins have no precious metal at all. Your bills are not backed by gold. In 1971, President Nixon severed the final link between the dollar and gold. Ferguson calls this the greatest monetary experiment in human history. What backs your money now? Pure trust, pure agreement. Now, the amount of cash can be increased with a keystroke. An institution like the Federal Reserve doesn't need to clip coins. It simply creates new digital dollars out of thin air. This is monetary expansion. But how does that keystroke reach your wallet? Imagine a game of Monopoly. Everyone has a stack of colorful paper. Suddenly, the bank prints 100 new bills and hands them to one player. What happens to the properties? Their prices rise. Your stack of paper buys less. This is exactly what happens in the real economy. But it's not a game. It's your rent, your groceries, your life savings. Do you feel the weight shifting? An economist named Milton Friedman called inflation taxation without legislation. It's a tax that no one votes on. A tax that takes from those who hold cash. Why can't you see the thief? Because the unit of measurement itself is shrinking. A dollar today is worth about 4 cents compared to a dollar a century ago. That means the cash under your mattress is dissolving. Where is the value going? It's flowing toward those who get the new money first. An 18th century banker named Richard Cantillon noticed this. He saw that new money enters the economy at a specific point, usually near the top. A central bank buys bonds from big financial institutions. Those institutions now have fresh cash. Who spends it first? They do. By the time the money trickles down to your paycheck, prices have already risen. You are spending yesterday's wages, while they are spending tomorrow's money. The Cantillon effect ensures the theft is not evenly distributed. Does that seem fair? It disproportionately steals from those who wait longer to receive the money. That means you. Every hour you work is valued in a leaky bucket. Even a small, steady inflation of 2% can erode nearly half your cash's purchasing power over a working life. But here is the strange twist. If your cash were not being stolen, the world might grind to a halt. This slow theft is actually a deliberate design, a feature, not a bug. Why would a system steal from its own users? Because for most of history, money that held its value perfectly caused as many problems as it solved. In the 19th century, the United States went through deflation. The dollar gained purchasing power. Why would that be a problem? Debts became harder to pay. Farmers revolted. The economy seized up. Economist John Maynard Keynes saw that a little inflation could grease the wheels. It encourages you to spend rather than bury your cash. The system that steals from you also compels you to keep the economy moving. Are you trapped? It's a prisoner's dilemma painted in invisible ink. You individually lose. But if everyone stopped losing at once, the whole system might collapse. This is why central banks target around 2% inflation. They are not trying to rob you, at least not in the simple sense. They are trying to keep the game running. The thief is built into the rules. And yet, That knowledge doesn't put the silver back in your coin. So what can you do? The cash in your wallet is a melting ice cube. Every year it melts a little more. Why hold it? The only way to escape the theft is to not hold it. But that is precisely the push that fuels the economy. Your spending is the antidote to your own loss. Do you see the paradox? Think about the last time you felt the pinch of rising prices. Maybe at the grocery store. Did you notice the cereal box was smaller, but the price was the same? That is inflation wearing a different mask. Your brain calls it corporate trickery. And sometimes it is. But underneath is that same ancient river eroding the banks. A 2022 Pew Research study surveyed thousands of people. Over 70% said rising prices were making it harder to save. They sensed the theft but couldn't name the mechanism. Can you name it now? It's the same mechanism that made Roman bakers curse the emperor. The same that made Spanish peasants starve while silver galleons arrived. The face on the coin is new. The system is ancient. The historian Niall Ferguson wrote that money is never neutral. It is a technology that shapes the fate of nations. Is your fate shaped by it too? Not in a far-off capital, but in the warm, exact shape of your own wallet. Every bill carries a tiny clock, ticking down. The ink is a promise, but the promise shifts with the tide. It's easy to be angry, to call it theft and rage. But the strangest part is that you already accept it. Every time you trade an hour for that paper, you make a bet. How long can you hold it before it fades? Usually you pass it in time. But the house always takes a little. And the house is the system that gives the bill its meaning. So next time you pull out a $20 bill, hold it. Look at it. See it for what it is. A receipt for effort already surrendered, slowly evaporating in your hand. It looks exactly the same as it did last month. But now you know the truth. Is it the same? It is not. It is a shadow of what it was. And tomorrow it will be a shadow of what it is. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. A new story every week.